Because when you grow as an individual, then an organization can also grow. So we are so big on personal development. And so the company has offered to provide every month a lunch and learn series that talks about personal development. So I think I've been doing injustice if I don't share what the company does. So let's just use a few minutes to just talk about that, what the company does. Yes. So over to you. We have a 2 minutes annual report. How does that sound? Let's just watch 2 minutes annual report. Thank you. Did you share volume? I doubt the volume is on. The volume needs to be shared at the beginning before it even starts. Yeah. Let's just get the volume right and then we'll be good to go. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to see so many friends, and may I take this opportunity to also wish you a happy new year. I don't think I've had the opportunity to do that. So let me say happy new year, and we are so glad to have you here today. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for watching our 2 minutes annual report. It just gives a snapshot of what we've been able to do in 2024. And now we are so ready to take us through the session for today, which is really on personal awareness. And let me just put the slides up. Let me know if you're able to see the slides up. Is it there? I have so many things on my...
Yes, it's there. We can see the slide.
Thank you so much, Rose, and thank you for coming. I even know your voice. Okay, so fantastic. So today we are talking about who are you? Who are you? It's really more about self-awareness, because we said if you're to do anything, if you're to grow anything, you just need to understand you. It's quite interesting, but not many people think that it's difficult to actually understand yourself. But through a lot of research and science, it says it's very important to actually understand who we are. even before we interact with others. And so the essence of this particular session is to present in a small way. We are not able to do a lot in this short period of time, but at least we can provide some insights. And if you're interested, you can then do really more detailed assessment of who you are, because when you understand who you are, then you can understand how you communicate and how you can communicate better to others, how you relate and how you can relate better to others, how you can even increase your influence, or what your strengths are. If you're, for example, working in an organization, what kind of value do you bring? Because all these assessments can actually help you provide that kind of information. So today we will look at your personality. So some insights about your personality by doing a few exercises here and there, and then also giving you a glimpse onto others. So your family members, your spouse, your children, people who work for you, organization, and all that. You get to know a bit of who they are, so that you're able to relate better with them. And then your orientation, especially in a work situation, with so many of you are in working age. So so it's very good to understand how you can use this information to actually improve your work relationships. And then use case. Use case is really examples of how like doing a self-assessment, for example, can help you in your relationships. I like giving the story of a friend of mine who I offered to do an assessment, pre an assessment before their marriage, and people were like, how can you want to do an assessment for people before they get married? Supposing they get to know who they are and they cancel their marriage. And I'm like, it's well, if they feel like they will not be able to manage, it's better than getting through divorce. Let them cancel before the marriage. But I just want to say that they were so pleased with the report that they actually went on with their marriage, because now they understood each other better. They knew each other's strengths, they knew each other's weakness, and then they said, okay, this is how we are going to complement, or this is how we are going to manage. So you can imagine, even in marriage, it's something that you can use. So yeah, people who are single, better come and I first do assessment and first determine whether you're going to manage your partners. Yeah. So use case scenario, I've just given you an example as part of the sharing the outline. And now a brief activity. I would like to know, can you just type in the chat what you think these are? Number one, what do you think number one is? What is number two? What is number three? What is number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Just type in the chat. Let's do some bit of activity. Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing what you say. What is number one? Okay. Yes. So please feel free to type everything. So you can do 1 is this, 2 is this, 3 is this. Yes. So I can say Christine is saying number 1 is leopard. Number 1, another person, number 1 is tiger. Oh, okay. Number 2 is leopard. Okay. So yes. What about the rest? What do you think these number 1, 2, 3 up to 8 are showing? I'm just seeing Christine and Rose. Yes, Rose. Yes, Rose, you have skipped number 3. Is it like pass? I know when they say pass. 3 pass. Yes, number 4 is snake. 5 is a zebra. Okay. Thank you. That's what, who else is saying? Which number is that? Let me see. Okay, this one I've overexpanded it. Looking forward to seeing your answers. Zebra 5, 3 is a panda. 5, 2 tiger, zebra, fish. Number 6 is fish. Number 7 is also fish. Number 6. Oh, there's a 6 which is a fish, and then there's a 6 which is a peacock. Let me see. Number 3, there's only one person who has given us an answer for number 3. I guess it's that of pass. Oh, number 1. Pascal is saying number 1 is a snake, 5 is a zebra, 6 is a peacock. Fantastic. I love this answer. Have we gone up to number 8? Let me see if anyone has reached number 8 so far. Anyone has gone up to number 8? Snake, leopard, I'm just waiting for somebody to share number 8, because I think we have gone up to 7, but what is number 8? Aha, number 8, giraffe. Okay, fantastic. Okay. You have your answers. So please mark yourself. Let's see what we have here. Clap for yourselves. Those who said tiger can clap for themselves, because indeed it's a tiger. Number 2, leopard. Tick yourself. Those who said leopard. Number 3, dimension. So this is a type of dog in Protea. I've never met that dog, but yeah, it's a type of a dog. So it's quite interesting. Looks very interesting. Number 4, snake. I think almost everyone got that. Number 5 is zebra. Number 6 is peacock. Yes, number 7 is a clownfish. So those who said fish, at least you had an idea. Otherwise, it's very difficult to guess. And giraffe. So congratulations to those who managed to score 8 out of 8, 7 out of 8, but even 1 out of 8. And those who didn't try, I hope you try in the next exercise, because it's about being able to try. So as we really try to find out this exercise, what are these? If you like, if you could type in the chat, what is this? This which we have been feeling. So see 1, 2, 3, and now we know the names of the animals. What are these? What would you call this? Sorry, number 4 was snake. Okay. What would you say these are? This arrangement we have here, what are they? Let me just see if there's somebody typing there. Wildcats, wild prints, patterns. Fantastic. So wildcats, wild prints, and patterns. So let's stick to Rose, who says prints, and then also Kristen, who says patterns. Indeed, these are patterns of things, and we have been able to identify. So you can imagine, by just looking at a pattern, you're able to say, I think this is a leopard. I think this is a peacock. So the interesting information, the interesting thing is that actually people also have patterns. So you can imagine, we all have patterns in how we communicate, how we work, how we relate, how we influence, and all that. And so for us to be able to work harmoniously with each other, we need to know our pattern as individuals, but also to know the patterns of those whom we work with. So this simple exercise was just to remind us that each and every one has a pattern. Some people's patterns also change when under stress. So it's also good to know. But then there's that innate, your inborn, if you like, your DNA, you kind of tend towards a given pattern. So with that interesting revelation, we can then look a bit more about this pattern. And today we are going to discuss about the DISC, D-I-S-C, DISC. It was a behavior assessment, if you like, tool. We like to call it as a tool because it really helps us to do a lot of things. Discovered by Dr. William Matton sometime in 1928. So it's very long ago, but it has gone through a lot of modifications. And then the Maxwell leadership team, anybody knows John C. Maxwell, Maxwell leadership team, refined it. And now we have a very detailed personality assessment or tool that you can actually use to predict, to know the patterns of different people, and takes the form of DISC, where D stands for dominance, I stands for influence, S stands for steadiness, and C stands for compliance. So we'll just see a bit more about that. But so here is another activity I would like to know. So basically, if we look at this model of the Maxwell leadership team, the method, it has the D, the I, the S and C, and we can see here D is dominant, I is influencing, S is steady, and C is compliant. Yeah, but when you do the assessment, definitely you know that it's a combination. But let's do an activity here, and we see how how this goes. Please answer this poll. Answer this short poll. Where are my polls now? Just looking for my polls. I want to administer the poll. Thing I seem to. Okay, I just want to be able to administer the poll. Am I administering it or not yet?
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Let me see how I can. Okay, I'm launching it there. I hope it's there. Just let me know if it's there. And if it's there, feel free to go right away. We have 2 questions. And question 1, the title is self-awareness. The question 1 is, what would you rather? 1, go to the elevator or a lift. So I hope you know what a lift and elevator is. Would you rather go there alone or go with others? Number 2 is, you're going on a trip. What are you concerned about? Are you concerned about the details of the trip, for example, the location, the distance, internet connectivity, accommodation, all the details of the trip? Are you concerned about that? Or are you concerned about who else is going on the trip? Those are the 2 questions that we need to answer. So we are 28 people. Only 6 people have done the poll. So can we have some good numbers, some good percentage that we can actually use to have a good conversation of who is here? So yeah, so do that in a bit. Yes, we shall appreciate that. 55%, slightly above half. So we're waiting for. Okay, let's reach at least 70%. We have 18 people who have done the poll. Please tick. Just tick 1. I hope it just allows you to take 1 anyway. So that will be great. If you can have 20 people, yes, 20 people have done it so far. Any more last people doing it? Okay. I think this is a good percentage. We are almost reaching 80. That's good. Okay, fantastic, 82%. Let's end the poll and see the result. Let's end the poll and see the results. Share results. Are we able to see the results?
Yes, we can see them.
Okay, Rose, now tell me what you are seeing. Number 1, what percentage are saying they would rather go in the lift alone?
Yes, so we have 33% saying they would rather go in the lift or elevator alone, and 67% would go into the elevator with others.
Take us through number 2.
Yes, and then number 2 was asking, you're going on a trip, what are you concerned about? 79% are concerned about the details of the trip, that is location, distance, internet connectivity, accommodation, etc. And 21% are concerned about who is going on the trip to.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. So let me just stop sharing that and go back and we find out what does this mean? What does this mean for the conversation that we have started today? What does it actually mean? So let me just get back my slides on. But thank you so much for taking the poll. Thank you so much for taking the poll. This is where we are. Am I sharing or not?
Yes, you're sharing.
Yes.
Sharing, but of course in not the full version. Yes. You're even reading my notes, but it's well. Yes. So yes. So in the lift scenario, so we saw that many more people would like to actually go with people, and then less would rather go alone. And for the trip as well, many more people seem to be interested in knowing the details, as opposed to those who were concerned with the details. So what does this really mean? I think we are happy to say that many of the people on this call today, most of them are outgoing. Those who wanted to go with people in the lift, and those who wanted to, and those who wanted to go with the lift with some people would say those are more rather outgoing people. And those who wanted to go alone are the reserved people. Those who are so concerned with the details and all that, they are more task oriented. And those who are like concerned with who is also going on the trip are people oriented. So you can already begin to see where you fall. So if you're having a team member whom you want to deliver on tasks, but they are more concerned with people, that's where now the challenges come. So you can really see with this simple question, Q&A, you are able to establish whether you are outgoing or reserved, whether you're task-oriented or people-oriented person, which is really so helpful. So if you find team members or family members who are quite reserved, it may be an indicator that they belong to a certain personality. But definitely our personalities are shaped by other things like our DNA, how we are born, our biology actually affects us, or even in the young age, it's about role models, people that you look up to, and even today, people that you look up to. Then the environment definitely also affects the kind of people that we eventually become. So if it's tough, and indeed I want to send my sympathies to all people who work for the U.S. foreign aid programs. I know many of you, some of you already at home, some there's that lot of uncertainty. So the environment is quite difficult for our colleagues and friends and family members who work for such programs. So that is Trump fever, it's on. But let's send you olive leaf. We hope that things will get better, and maybe it's just an indicator that, wow, as we are in these jobs, let's also think about alternative means of survival. Yeah, so just to send you sympathy. When I thought about the environment, I just thought about the environment of very many people who are now the brink of wondering what are we going to do next after the 90 days freeze. So yeah, sympathies to you, and we hope things will really get better. Yeah, so these are some of the things that actually affect our personality. And I did the assessment. I did my assessment. I did for my husband and people I work with, the children, and I've been doing this for organizations as well. So when you do, you can see my style is really a combination of a D and C, and I will just talk to a bit of that shortly. So one of the really general characteristics is energetic person, determined, sociable, and all that. So it's just showing the kind of person I am. But what are you? So with the D, we know that the D is the dominant personality. These are the people who are very result-oriented. They are straightforward. They don't fear confrontation. So when there is a confrontation, these ones will jump at you. But the good news is that there are very few in the population. They're about 3% of the population at this D, but we know they are good drivers, they lead us, but sometimes they can become too much, especially for other personalities. So if you are in the D red zone, take care that sometimes you dominate too much and others feel left out or are just angered by your kind of way. Then we have, so they are generally outgoing people. These are the influencing. They like being in the limelight. They are about 11% of the population. We love this kind of people because they make life interesting. They are the people who are concerned of who is going in the trip and not so much concerned about the details. So yeah, so we love that kind of personality, both at home and also at work. Then the steady ones, these are very loyal, will do their work well. They love people. love people, but their greatest fear is loss of security. And did I tell you this is 11%? These are 69% of the population. So you can imagine many of the people we work with and people we have at home are people who are reserved and people-oriented. So if you are on this task-oriented, yes, to know that there are some people who are very reserved and people-oriented, and they like status quo. So if you are doing changes, be mindful of the majority of the population who are 69. Last week we were in Pakwach doing a staff retreat, and the the executive director was definitely a D, and she was so amazed at her staff that many of them were actually the S's. So the reserved personality who don't like confrontation and all that. And so she made an apology. She said, "You people, I am very sorry. I didn't know the kind of people I was working with. I've been so tough on you, but forgive me. Now that I have got an insight of the people whom I'm working with, I'm going to do better." Then on their part also, they were able to say, okay, we now understand that you like results, you want us to deliver, so we are also going to pull out our socks. And for me, that was really a very good aha moment for people to realize how they affect each other negatively and how they really cause work to not to be well. I mean, we spend most hours at work, but if now the work is toxic and all that, because we don't understand each other, then it's not good. Then the compliant ones, these are the ones who are very analytical, can take time, they ask for a lot of details. So when you see accountants, many times they are in this compliance, they're like, what does the policy say? So just have some compassion for them, because their personality is that fears criticism, so they will take time to analyze. But if you are also this kind of person, I think now it's for you also to say, okay, how can I improve so that I can be a better team member, a better person to actually be. So with that brief understanding, we know we can use this personality awareness to better ourselves as individuals, as couples. I told you, and I gave you the example of an assessment I did for a couple. So instead of breaking up, they actually went ahead and they loved, they now understood their weaknesses and their strengths and how they could actually complement each other. In families, we have children, and everybody has a different personality. So it's really upon the parents, caretakers, guardians to kind of know what kind of children you have. So doing an assessment of the children is also good, not only for the children, but it can also be a good indicator of what kind of professions are good for certain types of personality. For example, this can be used in recruitment, like people doing recruitment in a hospital. In a hospital, you might want people who are steady, people who are caring, people who are people. So you use this assessment to make sure that you get the right personality in certain jobs. You do not want to get a D looking after patients. Yeah, so they will not have that patience and care and all that, because they're about it. They will wonder why the patient is still on the on the bed when they should actually be moving, because they think, we have given you this medicine, and why are you still feeling that sick? So this personality awareness is actually very good, because you can also determine a workplace. For example, teachers, it's also good to have people who love children and all that. Maybe even in our house helps and mates and people whom we work with, you might want to do and check what kind of personality they are, because you will then understand that, oh, this one maybe doesn't love people, so how do you expect them to love children? Yeah, so it's quite interesting. Very many use cases, organizations, we have just given examples. Even for selling, I used to get frustrated selling services to people, and you know how difficult it is to sell a service, at least a product, you have something. So, but I got to understand that most of the population are people who take long to decide. So I need to keep on pushing until, yeah. So if you are there and you're looking at me, and you promise to give me work and you have not yet given, I've not given up on you, because I'm remembering, this one I need to keep on reminding. And even I have to get a customer relationship management system, I think, to keep on giving me reminders. Oh, now you know this personality. It needs you to check on them quite a bit. So you can imagine, even for a sales a sales job. You need to know the kind of people that you are selling to. And and if you have gone through this, it's quite easy to know that this is a person. Like for me, once I meet a D, we just connect. We just connect and we're able to discuss and even seal a contract in a small conversation. But if I meet an S, I'm going to, and if I meet a C, I'm going to also share all maybe the annual reports here and the audit reports for the company, because they want details to be sure that we are going to be able to do the work. But yeah, so knowing that awareness is really very important. And as we conclude, I know we started a bit late, like 4 minutes as we are waiting for people. I just want to announce that we have a very interesting transformative course that is coming up called the Start and Improve Your Business program. It's a program by the International Labour Organization. You know, International Labour Organization, one of its goals is to create decent work, and they went ahead to create a program so that people are taught how to actually come up with viable business ideas, run their businesses, improve their businesses, expand their business. And I'm excited to say that on Thursday, we shall have an info session just to tell you about this upcoming program in April. So I know it's school fees time, so I'm not talking about this during this school fees time. Just save your money and let's do this course in April. Yeah. So if I get back to you, what style do you think is the best? Feel free to unmute and tell us, or just type in the chat. What style do you think is the best now that we have gone through? Type in the chat, those who can unmute and speak. Please speak to us. What style do you think is the best? We have gone through the different styles. What style do you think is the best? Any answers? What style is the best? Yes, Kanyes. What style? Thank you. Yes.
Hello, Shannon. Thank you so much for this. It has been really quite amazing for me. I feel all styles, quite honestly, could all be the best. I feel each person has their strengths and weaknesses, and in a community, really, we can't have everyone being one style. So I think it's just about understanding your style and nurturing it to work best for you. That's my opinion.
Fantastic. You have answered. Now I don't need to answer because you were. Now I may not be a good teacher because I'm supposed to allow so many people to give answers, but I think she has given a fantastic answer. All styles are all styles are best, and especially if you know your style and you're trying to work on those areas that are negative, and you're trying to be more positive, you're trying to be more responsive, communicate better, influence, and all that. Let me just read what has come through here. Julia says, I think all styles are best because they are different and they are in strength in diversity. Yeah, in diversity. But if it's DI, it's not it's not a strength for Trump, if it's a DI thing. Yeah. So diversity, we need diversity. You can imagine if all styles were the same. Oh, how boring life would be. You have interfaced with a combination of dominant and steady. Have you ever interfaced with a combination of dominant and steady? Yes, I have. And indeed, actually, the dominant personality works very well with the steady personality, because the steady personality is loyal, and the Ds love to work with people who are loyal. So if you're a boss and you are D, you want to make sure that your assistant or your personnel is the S, because they are steady, they are loyal, they will follow through all the work that you give them. So it's a very good combination. But if you put a combination of a D and C, sometimes they clash because the D wants to do things very fast, and then the S is concerned about compliance. What does the policy say and all that? And that frustrates the D. Yeah, but then it's this awareness that really makes us be able to work with each other. You know, the compliant person wants facts, wants details, wants logic. So even if you are D and you want to run and deliver on results, I think it's also important that we have the Cs who are compliant, and they will check us and make sure that we're not just doing anything that that comes our way. Thank you so much, Lydia, for that question. Is there any other question? What is someone is influencing and compliant? Do they complement each other? Yeah, influencing, these are the eyes, these are the people, they love people. The eyes don't normally work well with the C, because the eyes are everywhere, spotlight, they put on bright colors and all that, and then they see. So sometimes if you are, for example, in an office, you don't want to put these two personalities to sit with each other. They will be very angry. The environment will be toxic for both of them, because the C will not like the too much talking. Yeah, the eyes talk too much. They are great storytellers, I must say. We love them. They're great storytellers, but sometimes they can affect the work of the C. So in a work environment, you don't even want to put these two personalities together, because the other one will affect the work. The other one is over talk, while this one is over analyzing. Yeah, but then it's a combination, because all of us are a combination of the different styles. So, and maybe another thing that I need to mention is that these styles are determined because of the fears that we have. So the C fear is being criticized. So they will take time because they want to do their things perfectly. But in this world, there's nothing perfect. So you better do something and deliver rather than delay the whole process. While the D like to be in control. So these are the people whom you will invite, for example, for a lunch, and then going somewhere, and they even want to drive because they want to be in control. So that's the kind of personality. Yeah, so influencing and compliant, do they complement each other? The compliance person complements the D in the sense that it checks the Ds. The Ds want to run, do things very fast and all that without thinking through properly. But the compliant person will say, no, wait, this budget is not there, this is not there, this is not according to policy, or we are going to have a legal issue here and all that. So they are great. And so I like the explanation that you gave, that all personalities are good as long as we know who we are. But sometimes someone who is too reserved is difficult to understand. Yes, it's so difficult to understand. And fortunately or unfortunately, most of the population are reserved people. So we need to make sure that we try to understand them in our families, in our workplaces, and see how we can work. Because the reserved person, these are people who sometimes really do the critical thinking. Sometimes we think they are not doing anything, but they are the ones who can really come up with very good plans and all that, but if given an opportunity. And this is the essence of us having conversations like this, so that we get to know the different kinds of personalities and how we can harvest the good from each one of us. All styles are good as they help to check on who are accomplishing a task or a leader in an organization. Yeah, fantastic, Jennifer. That is so true. So members, yes, unless there are other questions, but yes, this is what we had to share with you. So your style is the best style. And now that you've even attended this, you know that, okay, there are certain things that I can do to actually become a better version of myself. And if you want to do the assessment, please drop me a direct message, and we shall reach out to you so that you can actually do this assessment and get to know your exact style. Now we have been discussing generally, but there's opportunity for you to know your style, to know the style of the people you work with. I normally like to do this with the senior management team, because if the senior management team or managers get to know them, they can help their direct reports. So if you want to do that, then that's it. Yeah. And how you can reach us is through that telephone number, that's for the office, as well as our email address. But those who have my phone contacts, you can also just reach me directly. So want to say thank you, and give us a review. If you liked this session, give us a review so people get to know that we do this. We do this for individuals, but we also do this for couples. We do this for organizations. Like we say, there are so many use cases. So yes, so I think I just attend the session. So I can see Flugencia has put, if you like to attend the info session on that transformative program that we shared, Start and Improve Your Business. And I think everybody, like we've seen the fever from Trump, it's good that all of us start some kind of business or support some kind, because these jobs, whether you are in government, whether you are in government, UN, and all that, you're not insulated. So if we start some things on the side, those could potentially be things that we can grow. So attending this course may be very beneficial. So with those few remarks, I don't want the company to fire me, so the company can play their annual report for those who missed seeing it at the beginning, while others who saw it, feel free to go and have your lunch. And we sincerely hope you had a great time with us, and look forward to having you next month. We have these sessions on the last Thursday of the month. So last Thursday of the month, it's dedicated to personal development, every topic. And if you want to look at other topics we covered, go to our YouTube channel, Majestic Training Associates. You find all the topics. Last year we did 12 because it's monthly. So we have 12 topics there. You can review, including financial management. I think it's critical we look at how personal financial management. I just thought about that because I think it's critical in this time. So you can go and watch that one. But every month we shall be having a topic. Today was about personality awareness, really self-awareness. Next month will be a different topic, but feel free to even type in the chat. What do you think we should talk about in February? What topic should we talk about in February? Yes, so yeah, those who like to, and then the info session, definitely the info session is next Thursday, next week, Thursday 6, midday to 1. So we give you information about this transformative course. I love it. I was in Nigeria in November, December, just trying to really grow and understand how to run this business of the company, but also how to help other businesses be able to do the same. And so we are training trainers to be able to do that. Emotional intelligence, yes, we did emotional intelligence last year, so check it out in our YouTube channel. You'll find that